UFC 327, Jiri Prochazka taking on Carlos Ulberg is this weekend after Alex Pereira vacates his title. And today I'm here joined with Jesse Lewis, fellow MMA YouTuber. We're going to be breaking down all these fights. Hand it off to you, Jesse.
Yeah, I think this fight night's pretty good. I think that a lot of people are overhyping the card just because we've been getting a lot of really bad cards, not really decent cards, but this card is pretty good though in general. Like I said, compared to all the dog shit that Dane has been feeding us. But yeah, like my boy Ty said, we're gonna break down every single fight on the card. So let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, guys. So first fight of the night, we have Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the fight, and then I'll hand over the mic to my boy Ty. But I think this fight's gonna be honestly pretty one-sided. I think Charles Radke's gonna be able to win. Yes, he's 35. Yes, he's at the tail end of his career. But I think that he's just I know that he's a more well-rounded fighter. He can take you to the ground. He has good striking, and just he's fundamentally all there. And Francisco Prado, yes, he can, stuff a couple of takedowns, but I don't think his takedown defense isn't, all there. And if he does get taken down, he doesn't really fight to get back up on his feet. The only, good thing that Prado does have is his boxing. His boxing's pretty good, and I kind of favor Prado's boxing, against Radke's. But overall, I have to go with the better or the more well-rounded fighter in Radke. My only, thing that scares me is that Radke is 35. So, besides that, I think Radke should be able to get it done, and I'm gonna go Radke via decision. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I pretty much have the same thing. Radke via decision. I mean, Prado's 1-4 in his last five. He is 23, so you could say, maybe he's got an upward spiral to his game now, but I'm going to be taking Radke here. I think he's going to wrestle well, and he's got good control. Like you say, though, 35 years old, not the best, but the line movement has been a little bit disrespectful to Radke. He opened up at a minus 240 and is now ranging from like 185 to a 200. So I think he could be a good parlay piece.
I would
Prado,
not. I would
yeah,
actually disagree with you. I don't think I would not parlay this.
yeah. I mean, if you want action, definitely take the side of Radke. I mean, I don't see much value in Prado, but I do agree to an extent with Jesse. There are definitely better bets out here, but I'm going to be agreeing with you and taking Radke via decision.
And if you are a statistics guy, you would want to lean towards Prado because I don't remember the statistic, off the top of my head, but I know that it's like 68 or 72% of the time the younger fighter does win. So if you're into statistics, you're going to lean Prado.
Yeah. We shall see. We shall see. On to the next fight. We have Kelvin Gastelum. I don't know why that's not opening.
It's not opening on my side either.
All right.
Hey, the UFC, a $7.7 billion company, and their website's fucking up.
It is. It is.
All right.
Well, we have Kevin Gastelum taking on Vincent Luque, and man, oh man, Vincent is just on a downward spiral here. Just got brutally knocked out, and to be honest with you, I think this is a more washed fight. It's just two washed fight. Two fighters going at it here. I mean, Gastelum's got some clean boxing, but I don't see how you can take Vincent here. Let me know your thoughts, Jesse, but I'm going to be siding with Gastelum here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I lean towards the side of Kelvin, but I disagree with your thoughts on the fight. I don't think that Kelvin's necessarily washed. I think that he just doesn't take his career seriously. I think that he just would rather chill, would rather just you know
Eat a
lay in
taco.
bed with silk bed sheets. He doesn't want to get up. He doesn't want to do shit. I mean, for God's sakes, the guy had a podcast saying missing weight with Kelvin, no, with KG.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And then he proceeds to miss weight, in this fight. Like that's crazy. So yeah, I don't think he's washed. I just think that he doesn't have the motivation. But I do agree that Vicente Luque is washed. Ever since he had that brain bleed against Jeff Neal, he's never been the same. And I mean, I kind of get it. Dude almost died, so I kind of get him being hesitant and being more what's the word I'm looking for? Like cautious. I mean, it's MMA. It's kind of hard to be cautious, but he's been very tentative, and and his age. I think he's like 35, 36. So it's just basically the end of his career. He shouldn't be fighting. He should have retired when he got that brain bleed. But yeah, I think this is an easy win for Kelvin. And I think that this fight, Kelvin's kind of like I said. He doesn't look for a finish. So I think Kelvin via decision is a pretty safe bet. What do
Yeah,
you
we'll
think, Ty?
talk about that later in the show, but it's got some good value. I really do like it. Gastelum is tough though. Literally coming win, loss, win, loss, win. So he's due for a loss in the books, but I don't think it's going to be against Vincent here. Vincent's done, and I'm going to be taking Gastelum by decision too. So we move on. We'll see if this works. Hey, there we go. Maybe it
All
just
right.
doesn't work for them.
Does
Chris
it?
Taco Padilla taking on Markel Medeiros. And to
So
be
I think.
honest with you, I didn't do much film on Medeiros here, so I'm going to let you start it off. I'm just taking Chris because he cashed me last fight, so
Mhm.
I'll hand it off to you, Jesse.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that this is going to be one of the better fight. I mean, well, the other two fights are kind of bummy. This is going to be one of the better fights in the prelims. And I think it's two high-level guys, two guys that are, on a win streaks. And, someone's got to lose. I do lean Chris Padilla just because I think he's a more well-rounded fighter. He's got that wrestling. And Medeiros, he's more of like a striker, more of like a kickboxer. His, takedown defense is okay, but I think that Chris Padilla should be able to take him down. But honestly, I think this fight's going to stay on the feet. But if Padilla is in danger, if he finds trouble on the feet, he will take down Medeiros, and I trust Padilla's wrestling and grappling to do so. So I got Chris Padilla. Call me crazy. I think Chris Padilla can get a TKO. I'm gonna say TKO in round two. What do you think, Ty?
It's not a bad take. I didn't have him by KO last fight, but I know he was big value against Bonfim, and he made easy work of Bonfim. So,
And
I mean,
people are high on the Bonfim brothers.
yes, they were.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that Win is aging really well. He's got really good fight IQ. Padilla. I mean, I haven't done too much research on the Medeiros side, so can't say too much on him. But yeah, 4-fight win streak for Padilla. I mean, I feel like you have to side with Padilla here. He's just looked better in the UFC overall.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I
I
agree.
have him by decision, but I would not be shocked at a KO.
Yeah, I think it's gonna if he gets a KO, I think it's gonna be more of like a TKO via ground and pound. That's what I'm
Yeah,
leaning towards.
yeah, I could definitely see it. He disposed of Bonfim very quickly, so we'll be rooting for Chris Taco this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Moving on to the prelims, we have our one and only women's fight of the night: Tatiana Suarez taking on
Boys,
Lupi.
boys, we have one restroom break in this fight card, which is pretty good.
Yes.
Unless we get a knockout, because we've been getting knockouts back to back
Yeah,
weeks. So,
I I don't even know what to say. I mean, some like literally all these fights, we're betting over 2.5 on the Barber fight. Oh, we're all taking Barber by decision. Nope,
mhm.
there's just a brutal KO.
Yep,
So I mean, hey, maybe it's a new age now with the 100K bonus. Maybe these women are wanting to throw down more.
yep.
But I don't see too much of a brawl going on here. I think Tatiana's just gonna wrestle fuck and chain wrestle and get it done probably by decision, but like we said, could be a finish nowadays. We never know with these women's in this new age.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I think see if Lupi Godinez had a better fight IQ, I'd lean towards Godinez, but this chick if just an example, right? If she rocks you on the feet, she's not going to look for a finish. She's going to go for a takedown. That's the type of fighter that Lupi Godinez is. Her fight IQ is just trash. She's an idiot. Um, so yeah, I have to go with Tatiana Suarez because we all know what she's going to do, and she's not going to deviate from the game plan. She's not going to try to strike. She's going to be grappling, and I can trust her, and you can't trust Lupi. So I agree. I got to go with Tatiana Suarez, and hopefully decision. Everyone's been saying decision. And there's been finishes like my boy Ty said. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Suarez via decision, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man. And like Jesse said in a video before, if you're betting on this fight, you're a degenerate, man. There is so many other good fights on this card to bet and find some value. Go take a restroom break or maybe enjoy this and maybe we'll see a finish.
Yep.
Moving up the card, kind of disrespectful here. Gamrot this low on the prelims, I think at least. But we got Gamrot taking on Esteban. And I'll let you
Rinkovic.
start off with this, Jesse. What are you thinking on this?
So I think this is another great fight. Yeah, I mean the UFC. I don't know what Gamrot did, but they don't like him. They haven't liked him, and they're trying to feed Ripovic. Or they're trying to give Ripovic a little layup in the rankings because I know Gamrot's like what top seven, top eight, something like that. So
Yes,
yeah, so
8.
they're go ahead.
He's 8
Eight,
right here.
yeah. Yeah, so he's up there, and I don't think Ripovic is ranked. Maybe he's in the top 15 around there. But if he does beat Gamrot, he's going to move up there. And yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't think Ripovic does win. Yes, he has really good striking, and yes, Gamrot is chinny. But I think that this fight's going to be very similar to Gamrot versus Hooker. Yes, Gamrot had his moments, and so did Hooker, and I think that this fight's going to play out very similarly. I think that Gamrot's going to have his moments, and Ripovic is going to have his moments, but I think that Gamrot's going to be able to get it done in a really close fight, maybe split. Well, I think it's going to be split 100%. I think it's going to go to decision, but I'm leaning towards Gamrot just because he's a more well-rounded fighter, and I could trust him to stick with the game plan. And Ripovic, I just can't trust him enough to stuff the takedowns. Because if he's able to stuff the takedowns, then yes, he should be able to win this fight. But I don't think he will be able to stuff those takedowns. So for those reasons, I have to lean towards Gamrot. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Gamrot via decision is a really good bet. And I just think he's going to be able to chain wrestle all night. I mean, it's only 3 rounds. He doesn't have to worry about like if this was like maybe a co-main or like a main event of a fight night, and you'd be worrying about 5 rounds. Yeah, I'm going to be taking Gamrot here by decision. I just think he's going to be able to get the takedowns pretty easily, just chain wrestle all night. And the Hooker fight was really close. I almost sided with Gamrot. I thought he could have taken that. But if you look at his recent losses, it's been to that and Oliveira recently. I mean, those are good losses. And the most recent fight against Klein looked really good. And to be honest with you, if you were to tell me, if Klein was facing off against Esteban today, I might even take Klein, because I think he's more of like a dangerous striker than Esteban.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think Gamrot's going to be able to wrestle well and stay out of danger. So I'm going to be taking Gamrot via decision.
Yeah, I think the only good things about Ripovic is his boxing because he's a really good boxer and his chin. But besides that, I mean, he's just really kind of lacking.
Yeah, and a lot of people say like that McKinney win, like oh it's aging so well, and because McKinney's doing all right, but I mean I don't think he's that hot, and
I mean, it's McKenny.
he's
What do
chinny
you expect?
exactly. So I think that's honestly his best win, and I think Gamrot, like you say, much more well-rounded fighter. So yeah, we're both in it for Gamrot decision.
Yeah, and he's fought the upper echelon of the lightweight division. His last fight, I'm pretty sure it was his last fight, was Charles Oliveira, the GOAT, and yeah, I mean, nothing compared to the competition that Ripovic has been fighting. So you have to go with Gamrot.
Yep. Alrighty, on to the next one. I know we're split on this fight.
We
We got
are.
Kevin Holland taking on Randy Brown.
You want to
And to
give
be
your
honest
take
with
on
you, yeah,
Kevin?
I'm going to start off first. This is not confident at all because I don't know how you can be confident in taking Kevin Holland. But I'm going to be taking Kevin Holland in this matchup. Like Moicano says, he can't afford to lose. He's 2 losses in a row. I mean, he can't make it 3. He had a horrible performance against D-Rod, awful performance against D-Rod. And
Hmm.
usually, if you're in the top 15, you should be able to beat D-Rod. But
Yes.
and another loss too, Mike Malott. I don't think that's a bad loss. I regard
Ooh.
Malott pretty highly. I don't think he's a top five yet, but I think he's really talented and
Like a top 10?
potentially. I don't
Okay.
think that's a bad loss though from Holland. He's also had 5 months off, and that's like the most we've seen Holland. Like we usually see
He's
Holland
very
in there
active.
every 2 3 months. It feels
Hmm.
so. A little bit of a time off that could be good for him. He's coming in at a plus 120, so it's not a bad price tag. I would not bet it. No more than like small units, but yeah, I'm going to be siding with Holland here. Brown's best win is Dolby, and I just can't take him against Kevin Holland, who's fought a little bit higher competition. So, also just got KO'd 4 months ago, Randy Brown.
So walk me through it. So exactly why are you picking Holland though?
I think he's just the more well-rounded fighter, and I think he's going to
Really?
get a club and sub. Not super early, but I think it could come late first into the second round. I think Randy will expose himself, maybe clipped by something, and then that good old Darce is there for Holland.
Okay. Yeah. See, and like Ty said, we're in different sides of the room. I'm going with Randy Brown, and I just think he's more technical. Kevin Holland's kind of low key a brawler, and you can't be playing that game with a technical guy. And another thing that has me worried on the Holland side is his chin. He got rocked by D Rod, and I don't think we've ever seen someone get rocked by D Rod. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ty. But yeah, that's kind of crazy getting rocked and getting rocked by D Rod. And Randy Power's got some some scary power behind him. So I think that Randy Brown can put Holland's lights out. And yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think Randy Brown is the better fighter. He's more well rounded, and yes, Holland has some offense, and yeah, he has some submissions. But in my opinion, it's some against B level competition, and Randy Brown has shown and proven himself that he is UFC caliber. I don't think, call me crazy, but I don't think Kevin Holland is UFC caliber. You know, so yeah, I think that Randy Brown should be able to get it done. Um, I don't know. I mean, Kevin Holland's a dog. We saw him get rocked a lot in the D Rod fight, so I do think this fight's going to go to decision. But I'm siding on the Randy Brown side.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad pick here. I mean, it's definitely hard to trust Kevin Holland now these days, and I feel like really the most like memorable performance he's had recently was against Alachesek, however you say his name is. You know what I'm saying?
Olenjacek?
Yeah, whatever his name. When he armbarred him, I mean,
Michael
could have been an
Olenjacek? Yeah.
early stoppage, but I mean, yeah, he's definitely fading, and I definitely don't think you're crazy for picking Randy Brown. I'll just say that. But
I've never trusted Kevin Holland, man.
yeah,
Never. Even
I,
in the contender, I was like, this guy's not getting a contract. Yeah, just never trusted the guy.
yeah.
I
So yeah,
hope that Randy Brown beats him via 45-70 though.
hey, well, we'll see. I mean, you're on the decision. I'm on Holland sub, so we will see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Moving on to the next one, we got the Bellator Championship. We
Yeah.
have Patricio Pitbull taking on Aaron Pico. I'll let you take this first, Jesse. What are your thoughts on this?
I think this is one of the easier fights to pick. In my opinion, I think that Aaron Pico should be able to get this done fairly easily. We've seen him, in his only UFC fight against Lerone Murphy, kind of outstrike, kind of outpace Lerone Murphy. Obviously, up until he got caught with that nasty elbow that would have slept anybody. So I think he was doing pretty good in that fight. Up until that, knockout, I thought that he was winning that round, and he looked pretty good. And we've seen Pitbull fight against what's his name, that one Mexican, Rodriguez. What's his name? Ty.
Yair?
Yair. We saw him fight against Yair in his debut. Lost that pretty decisively, and he fought against Dan Ige. He won that fight, but Dan Ige is kind of fading. He's kind of not the same guy that he used to be, and obviously that's the same can be said with Pitbull. I think he's like 37, 38, obviously at the tail end of his career. And Aaron Pico is kind of at the peak. So I have to go with Aaron Pico. And I just think he's the more, well-rounded fighter. I think Pitbull kind of over. When he came into the UFC, he was talking about having title aspirations, and I thought that was kind of, crazy, kind of wonky. I was like, this guy's not gonna, fight for the belt. He's not even gonna make it top 10. So yeah, I think Aaron Pico has, some pretty, high potential, a pretty high roof on him. I think he should be able to make it top five, and I think that he should be able to get an easy dub in this fight. So yeah, I think he should be able to get a finish. I think he's going to get a KO in round two. Those are my thoughts on this fight. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I'm with you on the Pico. I think this is probably, I'd say Gaslam's probably the easiest pick on the card for me. But Pico's probably the second easiest for me on this. I mean, little bit disrespectful in the line, but it's only, I think, because Pitbull's 38 years old. Like, it's going to be tough for Pitbull here, especially if Pico fights smart, man. I mean, like you said, in the Murphy fight, he was fighting really smart in those early rounds, and then gets caught when he tries to go a little bit too reckless there. So I think if he's able to control his chaos, I mean, like you say, I don't think he'll get a KO, but I wouldn't put it out the woods, especially with a guy that's 38 years old, But I think it goes to the decision, because I think he's going to be fighting much smarter now after the loss to Murphy. So I think he's going to maybe not take some chances than maybe he would have in the Murphy fight.
hmm Yeah, I mean, we're going on the Pico side, and I don't. I don't really agree with you saying that he's going to be play a lot safer, because he has been knocked out before, and he still comes out with the same game plan, the same fighting style. So I don't think that this knockout is going to change anything. I mean, like I said, Pico's been knocked out already. He's been knocked out before in other organizations. So I don't really agree with that take that he's going to come out with a different style or come out more tentative. I think he's just going to be the same old, same old. But I think he should be able to withstand anything that Pitbull does throw.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I definitely think he will definitely be a little bit more careful, but he will definitely keep with his normal approach and still be a little bit chaotic.
hmm
So I can definitely agree with you there a little bit. Moving up to the main card, we got Cub Swanson taking on Nate the Train. And this one I was really torn on, man. I had Nate at the beginning of the week, but
Okay.
through talking with a few people, I have sided with Cub Swanson. I can't believe I'm saying that. He's 42 years old, and I'm picking him
Yeah.
to win a fight. Um, but he's had what is it? What did I write down? He had a year and 3 months off, so I think that'll help him here. I haven't done too much film
Really?
on this, so
Whoa,
so
whoa,
I know a
whoa.
lot of people might think an older person taking time off isn't the best, but I think it'll be good for him.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you take this. I haven't done too much film on this. I'm not
Okay.
playing this fight on anything, so
All right.
go
All
ahead.
right. See, now I completely disagree with you. I think this is another easy fight to pick. Um, and I think that Cub Swanson does win this fight pretty easily. I think he wins via knockout. And just because Nate Landwehr, yeah, he was a dog in 2020 when he first came into the UFC, and yeah, he was really good. But we've seen him slow down. We've seen him get pieced up. He's taken a lot of damage, and the problem with Nate Landwehr is that his fighting style revolves around his chin, and once that chin is gone, he can't really fight the way he fights. Um, so yeah, I mean we've seen Landwehr get rocked before. In his last fight he got rocked. He's been getting chinned. So I gotta go with Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson has that sneaky knockout power. We've seen that in his last fight when he got that KO TKO. So yeah, I mean in my opinion, I have to go with Swanson just because it sounds crazy, but he's the more durable fighter, more well-rounded fighter. If this does get nasty on the feet, Swanson can go for takedowns, and Landwehr's takedown defense isn't really all there. So you know for those reasons, I have to go with Swanson. More well-rounded fighter, more durability, and I mean it's his retirement fight. So he wants to win. Obviously, he should have retired in his last fight when he did get that KO. But hopefully, he gets another KO in this fight, and he is obviously going to retire. And Nate Landwehr, I hope. I mean, he should have retired like 2 fights ago, but we haven't heard anything that he is going to retire in this fight. But he should retire. He's kind of cooked. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, back-to-back KO losses is a little bit tough, especially going against a killer like Cub Swanson. So, yeah, I think he's able to find a KO here. I don't think it'd be the best to bet on, though, especially with the age. It's two older men slugging it out. I wouldn't be surprised if Nate the Train finds, the chin, but I'm going to be taking Cub Swanson by KO here.
Okay. What round?
We'll say second round.
I agree.
Maybe gets rocks him in the first, and gets it in the second.
All right.
We have Glass Chin versus Glass Chin. Dominic Reyes taking on Johnny Walker. Is it going to be a double knockout?
It could be. This fight just might be.
the double rolling. Who's getting up first?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is so tough. I mean, how do you even break this down? It's like I think Reyes gets it done. As a southpaw, I think he's gonna be much more technical. Walker's just that kind of chaotic, throws wild knees, spams his low kicks.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really just whoever gets the first connect off. I mean, Dominic Reyes got knocked out by a jab. I think it was because Ulberg hit him once. Well, I was even thinking Ulberg, but yeah, Span too.
Yeah.
But Ulberg made easy work of him, and
but Ulberg might be the next champion. Who knows? So
could be.
Maybe that's a good look.
could be. But yeah, Ulberg's a good counter striker, so I think that was just a bad matchup for a guy who, has a glass chin. But Walker's going to be chaotic here, I think, and I think if Reyes is able to, have good striking defense, I think he puts out Walker in the first pretty easily. What are your thoughts?
So you got Reyes, right?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I disagree. I got Johnny Walker. I got Johnny Walker just because we've seen him get chinned, back to back to back, and this guy doesn't care. He's like the Terrence McKinney of light heavyweight. He's just gonna come out with the same game plan. And Dominic Reyes, we've seen him get KO'd. After a KO, he's kind of tentative, kind of more cautious, and having that type of game plan again, and going up against a guy like Johnny Walker, that's a wild man, a Jiri 2.0. You can't really do that. You can't be tentative. You kind of have to accept the gunfight and get in there. And yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards Johnny Walker because of that. I know that I can trust him to, just brawl out. And Dominic Reyes, I can't really trust him to do that. I feel like he's going to be, very cautious. And like I said, you can't be cautious with, someone that's, wild in Johnny Walker. So I got Johnny Walker to win via KO in round one.
It's probably coming round one. Under 1.5 rounds is a good bet, as well as this fight to end in KO is like a minus 290 or minus 260, something like that. I think that's a great bet for this fight. We'll talk about that later in the show.
We'll say, though, that I think that this fight does have the possibility to go to decision. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but I think that is a possibility. Not likely, but it is possible. What do you think, Ty?
I think that's insane, dude. I mean, you got Walker by points at plus 650, Reyes by points at plus 850. I mean, wow.
It can happen. I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen, whoever's been in the MMA scene for a minute. We've seen Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. What happened in that fight? Decision. So, two heavy punchers, two glass chins. This fight could go to decision. Could.
Hey, I would definitely.
We've seen crazy shit, man.
We have seen some crazy shit.
We had 2 weeks back to back with female knockouts, so I'm just putting it out there, man. Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker decision. Could happen.
Book it.
All right.
Next one. I mean, I don't know how. You see this number here. Number 5 in Curtis Blades taking on unranked Josh Hokett. I mean, what is this, man? What is this?
The disrespect on Curtis Blades, man. The disrespect.
The disrespect, too, on his line. He's a minus 140.
That's crazy.
This guy Hokett has proven nothing, man. I mean,
No MMA experience, by the way. 8-0.
right, right. I mean, Denzel Freeman, like, come on, man. Like, if that's your best win and you're taking on Curtis Blades, who, I mean, 5 years ago you would have said Curtis Blades was the next champ. I mean, now he's definitely, has shown that he can't beat the top level, but
He's definitely top 5 material.
yeah, I don't know how anyone's taking Hokett here other than just he likes him, or I don't see anything else. I mean, he's down 7 inches or 6.5 on the reach. I think Blades is going to be able to box his face off and stuff all takedowns, if not even use his own, dude. I think he'll be able to use his own takedowns. I don't see Hokett really doing much in this fight. And,
So you're on the Blade side.
I'm on the Blade side. I have Blades by probably a late KO. Probably in the third I have it.
KO.
KO.
That's kind of crazy.
Hey, man. Hokett he's proven nothing, man. Until he's proven it, he can't be my pick.
I can see where you're coming from. But I'm gonna have to disagree. Yes, I agree with the Curtis Blade. Hate. It's like it's crazy. Like his last fight was Rizvan Kuniev, who was also unranked, and Curtis Blades had to defend his. Curtis Blades had to defend his ranking against a guy that was unranked. Won that fight. Kind of scary fight because that fight could have gone either way. And now he's doing the same, fighting an unranked guy. You just got to give props to Curtis Blades. Win or lose, he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to be fighting someone that's unranked twice. 2 people back to back is kind of crazy. So big props on Curtis Blades, in general for accepting, 2 fights back to back against unranked opponents. But I'm leaning on the Josh Hokett side. I think yes, he's unproven, but Curtis Blades has has shown that he can gas. We saw that in his last fight with the Kuniev fight. I think it was late round 2, early round 3. He started gassing, and yes, Josh Hokett. We haven't seen him deep, but he's got that NFL experience. He's got MMA experience. I think he should be able to hold. I think he should be able to hold out. Later in the rounds. And he's got that knockout power. We've seen Curtis Blades get knocked out before, a la Derek Lewis. So I think that Josh Hokett should be able to get it done. I think that this is going to be a very competitive fight. So I'm going to put some respect on Blades' name. I think that this fight's going to go to decision, but I am leaning towards Hokett.
A little crazy, but I mean, Blades definitely hasn't looked super impressive in his last few, so I don't blame you for it. But again, I mean, I'm on the side of Blades just because Hokett hasn't proven anything especially in the UFC. But I think really in MMA, he hasn't fought any top guys, whereas Blades has. So
right,
yeah, I'm going to be taking Blades here, and Jesse is on Hokett. Moving on, we got Azamat taking on Paulo Costa.
You want to pronounce that last name?
I do not. It's not
Murzakanov. It's not hard. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think this is honestly going back to like the easiest pick on the card. Honestly, I'd probably have this above Pico for me. I think Azamat gets this done pretty easily. I think Azamat is the much better striker in this matchup, also defensively, and he absolutely killed Rakic in his last fight. He's also the much more technical guy, does a lot more combos. Costa's kind of stagnant in a lot of his offense, kind of just throws a lot of kicks, and with 1-2 combos, but nothing to kill you. He really doesn't have that kill or be killed mindset, and I think Azamat's shown that when the finish is there, that he really does go for it. So I'm going to be siding with Azamat here. Good price tag at minus 190, and I think he gets it done by KO, probably in the second round. What are you thinking, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Azamat side too. I think everyone is for the most part. Um, I was kind of back and forth for a little bit in this fight, just because Paulo Costa, yes, not really good striking fundamentals and all that, but I kind of believe in the lighter man's skill, and that was kind of a big factor when I was kind of bouncing back and forth. But at the end of the day, I did pick, or I am picking Azamat, just because, like Ty said, he is the cleaner fighter, the more technical fighter, and if he hurts you, he will look for that finish. And most fighters don't really do that. They don't really, hunt for that KO once you're, kind of stumbling. And we know that Azamat will, look for that finish. I think all of his wins, or most of his wins, are via finish. So there's that. And besides the Israel Adesanya finish, I don't think Costa's been finished before. So, I think that we're bound to see another finish on Murzakanov, and I think it should be a nasty finish. So I got Azamat to win via KO in round two.
Yeah, we're on the same page there.
Yes, sir.
Kind of hard to trust Costa these days.
And yeah, I mean the only good thing about Costa is his height. We know that he's going to be obviously the taller fighter. Surprisingly, their reach is relatively the same. So yeah, but you have to go with Azama. He's proven. He's won 6 fights in the organization, so he's a proven UFC fighter. And Paulo Costa's kind of been sitting out, kind of been pulling out of fights, not fighting. Not fighting really well in my opinion. So yeah, you have to go with Azamat, right?
Yep.
Anything to add, Ty? What do you think?
No, that's it. I mean, and I think Azamat, so like I said, I think he's one of the easiest picks on this card, and he's got a good price tag at minus 190. I think he's a good parlay piece.
I agree.
On to our main event, we have Jiri Prochazka taking on Carlos Ulberg for the light heavyweight title here. I'll let you start it off, Jesse, and then I'll go off of you, but I know we're kind of in the same boat here.
All right. I don't know. I don't know what your pick is. Honestly, I don't know. But the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. Now, man, this is a hard fight to pick. This fight 100%. I went back and forth, but I went back to my roots. I went back into the forest, kind of meditated, and I heard Yuri scream, man, and I gotta go with Yuri. I gotta go with Yuri. I know that Yuri's gonna bring in the fire. He's gonna, come in wild. He does that in every single fight, and yeah, I mean, and it's a very, very biased pick. I gotta say that too. It's biased. So I am leaning towards Yuri, but I just think that it's hard to compete against someone that's wild. That's kind of you can't really prepare for. Look at the run that Tony Ferguson did. It was a guy that you couldn't really prepare for. You didn't know what he was going to, bring into the table. And that's kind of the style that Yuri brings as well. You don't know what this guy's going to bring. So you have to go with Yuri, in my opinion. Yes, Carlos Ulberg is a cleaner striker, very technical. But we've seen that, if you bring him into a slugfest, he kind of gets cautious, kind of starts questioning his, ability to move and hit his opponents. Just because of that, I'm picking Yuri because, like I said, I keep repeating myself. But if he brings this fire, Ulberg, I don't think he's going to be able to withstand it. And yeah, I think Yuri should be able to get it done, find a finish in this fight, and I think that Yuri should be able to get it done in round 3, KO. What do you think, Ty?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And, like you said, with Ulberg, his only loss, it was to Cheaty, wasn't it, I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Cheaty, and brought a lot of pressure, backed him up against the cage, got the finish. So I think that's what Yuri has to do in this fight. I mean, a really concerning stat for a lot of Yuri fans here. is that he's lost 9 out of the last 10 rounds he's been in. He's only won one round in the last 10 rounds he's been in. So obviously he's getting dominated on the technical side. We all know that. He uses his head as defense. Like, come on, man.
But we've seen him
He
improve
has
though
gotten
against that
better in the
Jamal
last
Hill
few.
fight.
Yes, he's gotten better. Um,
Hey,
but
and we
I think he could lose rounds here, man. I mean, I think he could be down 2 rounds and find a finish in late three. Like he always creates those moments of chaos. Always has those moments. And
mhm,
when there's chaos, Yuri always stands on top.
strives.
Yep.
Yeah, there's two things I do want to mention though that Prohaska's a dog. He will fight for your money, and we can't say the same with Ulberg. If he gets hurt or if he gets too pressured, we've kind of seen Ulberg wins. So, that's one factor. And then the other factor is that I'm pretty sure you all know, but Prohaska's having a kid. And most fighters, when they're having a kid, they become champion. We've seen that with Charles Oliveira. He had a kid, became champion. Max Holloway. So, hey, I said that in the first fight. I think not if you're a statistic guy, you have to go with that. Most fighters that have kids become champions or win their next fight, go on a little run. So there's that. That little nugget. What do you think, Ty? You know
Yeah,
about
man.
that?
I didn't know about that, but I do think that'll help him, man. I mean, he's fighting for his family, and he knows in a few days, he's going to be able to be, with his new daughter. I think it's a daughter. So,
Mhm.
yeah, man, I do really like Yuri in this fight, but also, like you said earlier, this is a bit of bias here. I have literally no love for Allberg.
You're not Australian? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie?
Couldn't be more not against him, but just like
Could care
So
less.
yeah, it's gonna be Yuri for me. He's got a really good price tag for him. I think there's a little bit of disrespect, but I mean, dude, his only losses in the UFC have been by
Alex Pereira,
Peloton.
two
So
losses. That's it.
and you're talking about one of the greatest. So
And
they're not
another
bad
thing,
losses.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying like they're not bad losses.
Right, right. I mean, bro, they're like the best losses you can have. I don't know what you're talking about. They're the best, dude. This guy's about to be a three division world champion. He's fighting in heavyweight. Remember? So I think they're the best losses you can have in MMA, bro. A three division world champion. That's crazy.
Yeah, you want your losses to be to him, Ilya, Islam. Those are the guys you want to lose to,
Yeah.
legacy guys. So
hmm
yeah, I think
What I will say though is that Yuri Prohaska, I think he has 31 wins via finish. So he's only gone to decision one time.
yeah, 97%. That's the 97% finish rate. So, like you said, the man fights for your paycheck. Like he's gonna either most likely he's gonna get finished himself, or he's gonna be the one finishing. So, yeah, good prop for that. We'll talk about that right here coming up. Is this fight to end in KO is like a minus 290. So I think that's a good side if you don't want to be too much on the Yuri side. If maybe you think Ulberg gets it done. So. But me and you are both on the Yuri
Yuri?
KO. I'm gonna say round three.
Oh, we agree. I said round three.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, time to move into the betting portion of the show.
All right. Let's get into it.
Got a few bets for us here today. I took Gamrot decision at plus 100 odds. I think that's a pretty good price tag for him. Good vet, should be able to get it done. I put 2.5 units on that, as well as another little two-leg parlay that I think has some value in Yuri KO at plus 145 odds and Azamat Moneyline at minus 195. Put 2 units on that, so that should be a solid return. Jesse, talk about your straights.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I got Azamat via KO or decision. Yeah, I think that those are basically the only ways or those are the only ways that I foresee the fight going. Azamat can easily get a KO. He's been getting KOs in the UFC ever since he's got signed. And, if he doesn't get the KO, it's obviously going to go to decision, and I favor him to win, at least 2 rounds. So I think that's a relatively safe bet. And by the way, for me, my unit size is $100. So one unit is 100. So there's that. I got Azamat to win and round two to start. I think that's another, pretty safe bet. I think that if Azamat does get a KO or a finish, it's going to be in round two. So I think that's relatively safe. I think round one they're going to try to read each other and play it safe, and then get a little go into the game plan further into the fight. And my third straight bet is Gastelum via decision, and I just think he's going to do that because he's not really putting on the pressure, not looking for finishes, but he's obviously the more better fighter, the more well-rounded fighter, the guy that's closer to his prime. So I think that's a relatively safe bet, and at plus 200, I think that's a really good value.
Yeah, I agree. I am also on the Gaslam by decision. I think I'll probably take that tomorrow when I go to the casino. So I'm on you for that. Moving on to the safe parlays. Got two here. This is my favorite one of the week. I got Reyes and Walker to end in KO. Jesse also really likes that prop as well. And we're going to pair that with Jiri and Ulberg to also end in KO at minus 115. That is a 5-unit play for me. And then I got my 3 most confident picks this week, or I wouldn't even say 3 most confident. Pico and Gaslam are really confident. I just wanted to ride Padilla on the prelims, so that is a 2-unit play for me at plus 175. Jesse?
And I got one safety parlay, and it's Gastelum money line. They're all money lines. Gastelum money line, Azamat money line, and Brown money line for plus 266. I think all those guys win pretty easily, and at plus 220 at plus 266, really good price tag in my opinion. So I got 2 units on that, and yeah.
Yeah, solid. I mean, I'm definitely on the Holland side, but it's not a bad bet to bet on Brown for sure. Moving into the DGen parlay, I got one degenerate parlay here this week. Big return on this. We got Padilla money line. We have Holland submission in round 1 or 2 at plus 700 odds. I'm telling you, that's happening. It's happening.
Hey, if that parlay doesn't hit, that single bet is going to hit.
Yeah, right. And then finish it off with Azamat KO in rounds 1 or 2. Like Jesse said, I think Azamat's going to be able to find a KO here pretty easily. And end it off with Reyes KO at plus 10,000 odds. So put a little 0.5 unit on that for some fun this weekend.
Hey man, if that hits, that's gonna be crazy. You posted that on your Instagram. Everyone go follow him. He should put.
Yes, sir.
He should be putting it in the bio. I think, right? You'll put it in the bio.
Yeah. I'll have my Instagram and Jesse's down in the down below. So check us both out.
Yeah, he uploads the bets before we do the videos. So if you guys want to tail those bets, the Instagram's the way to go.
Yes, sir.
But my DGen bets, I got Hokit via decision. That's plus 550. I said it in the breakdown. I got him via decision, and I think he should be able to get it done. I think there's like a 35-40% chance that he does win via decision, and at plus 550, that's a really good price tag. If you put 500, if you put $100 on it, you win 550, which is a crazy payout. So yeah, I got that, and then I have Jiri, and these are 2 separate bets. I have Jiri to finish in round 2 and 3, and that pays out 460, crazy payout, and Jiri to finish in rounds 2, 3, and 4, and that pays out 320. And Ty is riding that with me, right, Ty?
Yes, sir. I really do like the Jiri 234. That's really, I can't believe that's plus 320. That's actually pretty nuts. Another DGen that I forgot to put down here that we were talking about through the show. You did say you wouldn't be surprised if Walker won by points. We'll just put it out there. Not that he's betting it, but Johnny Walker by points is plus 650 if anyone's interested in that.
Because I was on the Johnny Walker side, so yeah. Plus, you said what?
Plus 650 for a decision.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
a little
nuts.
flyer.
Yeah, that's a retirement piece right there.
Hmm.
But that's going to do it for the bets. Anything else you want to add, Jesse?
No, I mean those were our picks and predictions for UFC 327.
Yes, sir. Thanks for doing this, and we'll probably be doing more of these in the future for numbered events. So, peace out.
My pleasure, man. I had fun being on the channel. And yeah, I mean, he should put me in the bio too to link in to my channel. So if you guys want to go follow me over there, that'd be cool too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Until next time. See you guys.
Peace.